Hello, my name is Dr S P Mathew, and I'm a physician with over 25 years of practice. And I want to give you 5 tips for great health. This was supposed to be a Facebook Live event, but due to some technical reasons at Facebook, I could not record the Facebook Live with audio. And that's why I'm going to present this video on Zoom recording, and then I'm going to publish it on Facebook. So, my name is Dr. S P Mathew, and I'd like to share the screen to show you something about what my background is. So, as you can see, I'm a physician and I've got around 25 years of experience. This is a specific uh, topic that is very close to my heart, and I hope you can see the screen which I'm sharing. We'll go to the next slide. This is my team at Ashokan Hospital, part of the team that I am so happy to be leading. Our Shalom Life Care team is over 6 years old, and we manage 2 hospitals, Ashok and Ashokan Hospital. Below that, you can see a picture of my family. I got 3 children, and I've got over 60 to 70 people in my team at Ashok and Ashokan Hospital, which is a multi-specialty cashless Mediclaim approved hospital in Daisar East. Our vision is to bring in the shalom of God into healthcare, and our mission is to deliver total person care with compassion, integrity, excellence, and innovation. As part of our vision for total person care, I also believe that a human being needs to be healthy physically, mentally, spiritually, economically, and in all the other areas where health is important. So let's start with the 5 tips for great health. The 5th tip, that means I'm going in ascending order of importance. So the 5th tip is diet. A healthy diet is a foundation for great health. What do I mean by healthy diet? Healthy diet means a diet that is rich in organic foods, which are live and fresh, and that do not contain preservatives or chemicals to the greatest extent possible. Plant-based or fruit-based items, which are as fresh as they are plucked from the tree, are very good for health. So are non-vegetarian sources, which are great sources for first-class proteins. As you know, your daily requirement of proteins is 1 gram per kg per day on an average. And 1 egg gives 5 grams of proteins per day. So please make sure that you take adequate proteins. Tip number 4. Tip number 4, which I recommend to everyone, is to please get yourself checked regularly. I'm not saying this because I'm a doctor, but as a human being, I get myself checked every year. If required, I do it more often. The main thing to do is, when you check yourself, is that you relieve yourself of any anxiety that you may be harboring, that do I have some disease or do I have some illness which I'm not sure of. Because once you check and you are cleared, then your mind is at rest and you're able to focus on the more important things in life. The regular checkup also helps to detect conditions early on so that they can be treated well. For example, diabetes is a condition where there is a legacy effect. So the sooner you control it, the longer the benefits into the future. The first 5 years of diabetes control gives you lasting benefits for over 25 to 30 years. So getting yourself checked is a very basic part of maintaining good health. Tip number 3 is one of my favorites again, is exercise. I'll tell you what is my routine. I exercise for half an hour to 1 hour every day in the morning. What do? I go to the club and I play badminton, and I go to the gym and do some exercises, basically resistance exercises. Exercises, as you know, consist of three types. The first is your aerobic or cardio exercise. The second is your resistance or weight training or strengthening exercises. And the third is your balancing exercises for flexibility, agility, and balance. So these three types of exercises are very important for each and every one. And the minimum recommendation for aerobic exercise is 30 minutes per day for at least 5 days a week of rigorous exercise that brings up your heart rate. So that is important for each and every person. Now, exercise also has to be done under supervision, especially if you have some medical conditions. So please consult your physician or your family doctor, who will be able to devise a good health plan for you so that you will be able to exercise. The other thing is that if you have an instructor in the gym, he or she will be able to examine you properly and make sure that you do not damage yourself or your parts of your body when you are exercising. So please take care of that and make sure that you exercise the right quantity at the right time and in the right resistance or quantity or the intensity of the exercise. There are various other forms of exercise which you can do. You may not go to the gym, but you can also do lots of exercises at home, which also will help you in your basic life healthiness. So the tips, I'll just recap the tips. The fifth tip, which I mentioned, was about diet, about eating healthy. The fourth tip was about regular preventive medical checkups. And the third tip, which I'm talking to you right now, is about exercise. Exercise is very much needed in every person's life. And if you don't exercise, those parts of the body which you do not exercise are liable to go into disuse, atrophy, and then it will be very difficult for you to bring them back to their original utility and function. Okay. Now, tip number 2, which is most important for everyone, is to get good sleep. If you get good sleep, at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep every night, then it greatly increases your chances of surviving for a longer time. And why is sleep so important? It's because our bodies are constantly in a state of use, and it requires a time when it can repair itself. It can be a time when it repairs itself and the parts which are getting tired get the much needed rest. And this rest also, there's a time for it which God has designed, and that is to rest in the night time. When the night is when after the evening, when the sun sets, you know that it's a time for your body's biological clock. The pineal gland secretes melatonin, which tells your brain that it's time to sleep, and your body then goes down into a phase of reduced activity. So it's also important that you have your dinner at the right time. Try to eat your dinner at least before 8 p.m. if it is feasible, so that you have another 2 hours maybe to wind down slowly, sit for some time, don't lie down immediately after meals, and dim the lights so that your body gets into the state of sleep. Try to avoid using the mobile phone at the time when you are going to bed, and preferably practice all the other steps of sleep hygiene. For example, maintaining a regular sleep schedule, which is very important. Sleep also helps you and your brain to rest, and you can also, many people get dreams and visions in their sleep, through which sometimes even God speaks to them, and amazing miracles happen through visions and dreams. People have got amazing messages. God, the creator of the universe, has shown himself to them in dreams and visions. I mean, there are so many things that happen during our sleep which are beyond our conscious level or knowledge, and they profoundly affect us. And I believe that this is a very, very important part of your life to get adequate sleep. Now, I'll just recap all the steps that I have mentioned. The fifth tip, which I mentioned, was about proper diet. The fourth tip, which I mentioned, was about regular exercise. The third tip was about, what is the third tip? Yes? Should I remind you of it again? Exercise. Yes. The third tip was about exercise, regular exercise, proper intensity of exercise, graded intensity if you are starting exercise after a long time. Second tip is about sleep. Adequate sleep is very, very important. And then now you may be wondering, all these things are important for health, and Dr. Mathew has covered all the tips. What could be more important than all of these? Well, what is more important than all of this is your heart. That means what happens in your heart and your mind determines your health to a much, much greater extent than any of these other things which I mentioned. You may do a lot of exercise, you may eat well, you may sleep well, but if you don't have a peace of mind, if you don't have that shalom experience of love with God and with others, then, my dear friends, exercising, dieting, sleep, all these things will not help you. Why? Because God has created us, human beings, in His image, and God is love. God loved us so much that He gave His only Son for us. That's what I believe in. The Son who gave His life for my sins. And when I have experienced that forgiveness for my sins from God, how can I not forgive someone else? How can I not love someone else, no matter what that other person has done? That, my dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters, is the foundation of the shalom experience that we experience when we come into a relationship with God, and that allows us to love one another. And my dear brothers and sisters, we are created to live in this earth, to love one another, forgive one another, encourage one another, and help them to achieve their potential so that we can all collaborate in this wonderful journey of life. There's no time for anger, bitterness, jealousy, quarrels, and all these other things because life is too short, my dear friends. And to experience this abundant life, this shalom is so, so important. When you experience that, when I experience that shalom life, a loving relationship with my wife, with my children, with my colleagues, there is that beauty, isn't that? That is when heaven comes down on earth. And that is the experience that is the foundation of great health. The number one and the most important tip for great health, my dear friends, is to have a clean heart, a heart that is at rest, at shalom, at peace. There is no worry, there is no fear of the future because we cannot control the future. We are in the present, live in the present, be grateful, cultivate an attitude of gratitude. These are the things, my dear friends, which will help you to achieve great health. So, the most important tip, the number one tip that I tell all my dear and near ones is have that wonderful relationship with your creator. Now, you may say, I don't believe in this creator or I don't know who this creator is. Find out what is holding you back from your creator. The evidence everywhere points out that there has to be a very, very intelligent creator who has created you and me. Our human bodies are examples of that, isn't it? How can we say that there is no creator when you look around at the universe so finely designed, the planets, the stars, the animals, the birds, the insects, every single cell of your body shouts that there is an amazing creator. The God who created this universe loves you and me, and he desires the best for you. And the best for you is to have your hearts connected with him in a relationship of love. Just like how the father loves the son or the daughter, or as a parent, you love your child. That's the love that God has multiplied many times over. This, my friends, the shalom of God is the number one tip that I want to give you and I want to share with you because that's what I have experienced in my life. And once you experience that shalom, all the other tips make sense. For example, once you have that shalom of God, then you will get a proper sleep. You will get beautiful sleep, peaceful sleep. No amount of money can buy you a peaceful sleep, but a good conscience is the best pillow, a wise man once said. And I'm sure all of you will believe in that and agree with that. After that comes the next step. You will be motivated. You'll find time to do exercise because you value your body. The body that God has created is the temple of the Holy Spirit, so says the Bible. So I believe in that. I believe that my body is special and it has to be treated in a particular way. So I don't want to spoil my body by eating junk food or things that are not good for me. And as a medical doctor, I know the things that are good for me and the things that are bad for me. And I make that conscious decision to take care of the things that I eat, the things that I exercise with. I take care to make sure that my body exercises properly. I take care to make sure that I have regular checkups of my whole system, and I make sure that I eat healthy. So with these tips, I want to leave you with an encouraging message that everything is possible for you when you understand who you are, how valuable you are, how precious you are to God, the creator of the universe. He loves you and He cares for you and He wants the very best. So with that, I would like to leave you with an encouragement to have great health and enjoy this good health that God has given you. Share this with your near and dear ones so that they can also enjoy great health. Shalom and God bless you. Dr. Mathew and all of us here.